Breaking news. This helmet has been found, unearthed in a local garden. This is the story of the helmet. It's 1979 in a little town called Longridge in the northwest of England. A young man is about to try and change history and become Great Britain's answer to Evel Knievel. Some say he was a maverick. Some say his wiring was a bit off. Some called him a legend. Some said that the cheese had fallen off his cracker. His name was Barry Bullitt. Barry's dream was to jump his rally grifter over one of Longridge's famous reservoirs and go down in stunt history. He managed to persuade the water board to let him build a wooden launch ramp and a landing ramp on the sides of the reservoir and some seating for the spectators. Barry's uncle Stan built the ramps and the seating. He also did an artistic impression of the event to drum up interest. It was agreed that Stan would do the picture because he did the chalkboard for the local butchers and could do a good picture of a pork chop. Right, we're going to have a look at the helmet briefly. Hang on. Right, here's the helmet that Barry used in the famous jump. It's an old fiberglass motorbike helmet from the 1970s. It's actually Barry's brother's helmet. He borrowed it for the event for safety reasons. As you can see, he put in the 2 BBs for Barry Bullitt. So you can see what kind of state it is, actually. When it was dug up from the soil, it had actually a family of mice living in it for whatever reason. Anyway, so this is the famous helmet. This will go down in history. And here we have Uncle Stan's picture. This was found in a drawer in the Civic Hall. Here we go, it's a very old picture. So there we can see the reservoir with a fence around it, and the launch ramp and the landing ramp, and a little picture of Barry mid-flight and the spectators watching with a couple of flags there. So that's the famous picture signed by Stan Bullitt. So there we go. Back to the story. The big day arrived. The weather conditions were perfect, i.e. it wasn't raining. People from as far away as Chipping had come to see Barry Bullitt's jump, and all the local dignitaries were in attendance, including Irene Reed, the local lollipop lady. Dr. Hicks was there just in case anything went wrong, and even wore a novelty bow tie with pictures of bicycles on it. There was some rumours flying about that perhaps the rally grifter, a bicycle best suited for everyday road cycling and a little bit of off-road, was not really the best bike for such a huge jump, but Barry was confident in the bike because it had a picture of some kind of bird on the frame, so he assumed that it would help him fly. Also, his mum Doris had bought him the bike for Christmas, and it was the only bike he had. The day of the big jump arrived. There was definitely a buzz in the air, and not just because of the clouds of midges hovering around the dark and murky waters of the reservoir. Some people were shouting, "Go Barry, you can do it!" But some people were muttering, "That bloody lad's going to kill himself. I always thought he wasn't right in the head." The crowd was ghostly silent as Barry pedalled, like a man possessed, down the gravel track towards the ramp and into immortality. He flew off the ramp, soaring up into the air. Could he make it? Could he put Longridge and Barry Bullitt into the record books? Then everything went wrong. Not enough speed, not enough common sense. Barry only made it halfway across the water and plummeted into its cold and dangerous depths. Barry's body and push bike were never recovered. Dr. Hicks refused to dive in to find him because he didn't have his speedos on and the water was too cold. After a few minutes, Barry's helmet bobbed up to the surface and it was fished out by Irene's lollipop stick. Now then, for a few years the helmet was displayed in a glass cabinet in the Civic Hall, and then it mysteriously disappeared. Some say that Barry's mum stole the helmet and buried it because it upset her too much when she saw it on bingo night. She did, and it was eventually found in a garden on Mersey Street, where the owners were digging up their spuds. So there it is. the fantastic story of Barry Bullitt, and here's his helmet. Remember, people, random is rad. Rock on.